Guys, so here is a super quick flow that you can do to improve your balance and your core health. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'm here to answer anything for you. Enjoy! Standing at the front of the mat, let's get that heart rate increasing. As you inhale, hands reach all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, knees always nice and soft so you can relax the head and neck. Plant your hands, step back into your down dog. Navel drawing in. As you inhale, right leg lifts up only as high as it feels good. As you exhale, right foot steps forward only as far as it's available. Left foot comes to meet it next exhale. Inhale, fill your body with oxygen as you reach the hands up. Palms to touch, down through the heart center. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, release. Flat back, inhale. Engage the back side, engage your core here. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands back to your plank. Hands, fists, forearms, your knees, wherever your comfort zone is. Eyes of the elbows pointing towards the front of your mat. Slight bend in the elbows. Either releasing the knees down or keep them lifted as you lower down, but no banana action with your hips. Making sure that they're not sinking down before you're lowering down. Tops of the feet onto the mat, belly button is lifting. As you inhale, lift your heart without pushing into those hands. Exhale, bring yourself back down. Curl the toes under, press into your fingers. Lift up, down dog. Left leg lifts up only as high as it feels good. As you exhale, left foot steps forward. Inhale here. Exhale, right foot comes to meet it. Inhale, fill your body with oxygen. Sweep the hands up. Palms to touch. Heart center. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, release, forward fold. Flat back, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands back to your plank. Make sure the fingers are pointing towards the front of the mat, not outwards. Eyes the elbows towards the front of the mat, slight bend in the elbows. Collarbones broaden here, navel drawing in. Exhale, let's slowly release down, chaturanga. Elbows tickle the ribs as you lower down. Tops of the feet onto the mat. Inhale, lift the heart. Use the back muscles to lift you, not your hands pushing into the mat. Exhale, forward fold, or bring yourself back down. Slide your fingertips back and inch your toe, down dog. Walk your feet towards your hands, gentle forward fold. Relax the head and neck. Let's roll up, draw the navel in as you do. Roll the shoulders back and down, horse pose. Right leg is going to step back one leg distance. Back heel is lifted completely. Bend your front knee so it tracks over top of the ankle. Make sure it's not coming past that ankle. We need to keep yourself safe. Hands to come to heart center here. Find your breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Now, if you'd like more of a cardiovascular variation, hands come onto your hips. Let's pulse this back knee. Making sure that front knee stays right over top of the ankle. 3, 2, 1. Engage that back leg. Sweep the hands up towards the sky. Inhale. Core is tight. Ribs to pelvis, pelvis to ribs. Exhale, release. Plant your hands back into your plank. Again, any variation of plank that works for you is exactly where I want you to be. Just make sure that those hips are not sinking down. You've got that core engaged. Slowly lower down. Tops of the feet onto the mat. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, release. Plant your fingertips. Curl the toes under, down dog. Walk your feet towards your hands, forward fold. Rolling up. Shoulders back and down. Opposite side now. Your left leg steps back, one leg distance. Front knee is over top of the ankle. Hands to your heart center. Again, let's find our breath here. Back heel is lifted completely. Hips are square to the front of the mat. If that back heel is lowering down, then we're going to open up our hips to the side body. And when we come into that cardiovascular portion, it's going to torque that knee in a position that we don't want it. So again, if you are choosing that cardiovascular portion, let's bring our hands to your hips. Start pulsing this back knee. We've got 3, 2, last time. Engage that back leg, make it strong, sweep the hands up. Exhale, releasing, plant your hands back into your plank. Find your core here, lifting the belly button up to the sky, ribs to pelvis, pelvis to ribs, but collarbones are broadening. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Uncurl the back toes, lifting your heart. Exhale, release, down dog. Walking your feet towards your hands, gentle forward fold. Slowly roll up. Draw the navel in as you do. Roll the shoulders back and down. Beautiful. I want your right toe to slide back, toes on the mat, heel is lifted. Hands engage just slightly behind you. Again, keep that core nice and tight. Ribs to pelvis, pelvis to ribs. Belly button drawing in just slightly. Brace your core here. Now your left foot, I want it parallel to the long edge of the mat, so the toe is pointing towards the front. I want an engagement around the left knee, so we're not just locking it out, we're keeping it engaged. That quadricep is lifting up, kneecaps almost lifting away from the floor. Now maybe that right toe stays exactly where it is. If you'd like more, lifting your right toe as your upper body starts to come down. Now quite often what I see is that leg doesn't come up quite as fast as the upper body wants to come down. So make sure you're just like a teeter-totter here. Find your breath. As you inhale, sweep the hands up towards the sky, right foot comes out in front, and if you'd like more, let's lift. Your left hand is going to come to the outer edge of the right knee. Right hand reaches behind you. Let's turn the thumb to point down. Coming into a balancing twist. Remember that right toe can always stay on the ground if that feels better. Now from here, we're going to come into our eagle pose. So let's open up to the front of the mat again. Cross the right leg all the way over top of the left leg, like we're sitting cross-legged in a chair. Start to bend in your left knee. If you'd like more, clasp your right foot behind the left calf, but know that every body is built differently, so that won't be available for everyone. Let's bring your left hand underneath of your right hand, option to grab each shoulder, or you can come into your eagle arm, so clasping those hands. Let's see if we can sink those sit bones down, but our heart is still lifted. Squeeze everything to the midline here. So I want you to hug your arms towards one another and hug your legs towards one another. Squeeze everything in. As you inhale, open your heart. Hands reach out to the side. Straightening that left leg, uncross the legs. Both hands relax back down. Let's come into our warrior three on the other side. So your left toe slides back, toe on the mat, heel is lifted. Again, option is always here to just stay. This is going to help our balance as it is. Reach your arms back behind you, strengthen your arms. So spread those fingers wide, engage the triceps. Neck is long, front and back, side to side. Again, let's find an engagement around that right leg. So not locking it out, lift the kneecap away from the floor. If you'd like more back leg lifts as your upper body starts to come down. So again, I want you to make sure that that lower body is at the same pace as the upper body. So our upper body is not coming down faster. Keeping those hips nice and level with one another. So try not to lift that left hip up towards the sky. Let's come into that twist again. As you inhale, left foot reaches out in front of you. Both hands reach up towards the sky. If you'd like more, let's lift that left knee. Bring your right hand to the outer edge of the left thigh. Left hand is going to reach behind you. And turn that thumb to point down towards the ground. Collarbones are nice and open here. Find your breath in your twist. So right now you're going to be engaging those obliques, those side abdominals. As you inhale, bring yourself back through the center, coming into our eagle pose. So let's start to bend in the right knee as we cross the legs, like we're sitting cross-legged in a chair. If it's available, left foot clasps behind the right calf. Hands come out to the sides, sinking those hips down, heart is lifted. Let's bring your right hand underneath of the left hand. Option to grab each shoulder, or you can come into those eagle arms. Whichever variation you're choosing, I want you to squeeze to the midline. So imagine a red line from in between your heels all the way up into your pelvic floor and into the crown of your head. And you're squeezing your limbs in towards that line. Find your breath here. As you inhale, open your arms, and then start to straighten that right leg. Both hands, both feet come back down. Inhale, sweep the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, release, forward fold. Flat back, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, down dog. Then one knee at a time in your down dog. Release any tension that you may have built up in those balancing poses. Walking your feet towards your hands, gentle forward fold. Releasing your forward fold, head and neck come down, chin comes from side to side. Roll up as you inhale. And shoulders come back and down. Right leg steps back one leg distance plus a foot. So a nice wide stance here. Quite often this stance is a little bit bigger than we actually think it is. So I want you to take a look at your distance between your feet. Make sure you've got a good space there. Now let's bend in your front knee again. Watch it as you do. Quite often what I'll see is that knee will come past the ankle. I want you to come right over top of the ankle. Hands come up to shoulder height for your warrior two. Now we're going to use our core here. Bend your left elbow, placing it on your left thigh. Right hand sweeps all the way up and over. Now engage those obliques, those side abdominals, to bring yourself back into your warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose, slight restriction in the throat, Ujjayi breath. Inhale. Exhale. Keep engaging your core throughout this movement here so that we can really find those obliques and we keep our spine nice and safe, nice and healthy. One more. Bring yourself back up into your warrior two, straightening that left leg. We're going to pivot your left heel so it's slightly closer to that front edge of the mat, and pivot your right foot to face the back edge of your mat. Warrior two on that other side, so bend that front knee. Then your right elbow now, placing it on the thigh, left hand sweeps over. Engage your core, exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. Keep that core nice and tight. Keeping that lower body stable, not moving. It is suspended in space. We are just moving that upper body. One more here. And hold in your warrior two, straightening your front leg. Pivot your feet to a 45-degree angle. Bend in your elbows, bend in your knees, goddess pose. Ribs to pelvis, pelvis to ribs, but we're not hinging at the hips, leaning forward. We're nice and upright. Collarbones nice and wide. Nice deep breath here. Now spread your toes a little bit wider, lift both heels, sink your hips down a little bit lower. Again, option is always there to leave those heels down onto the ground, but this is going to challenge your balance. Challenge yourself today. Maybe even with that breath. Can you find your breath in a challenging pose? One more breath. And relax those hands down, straighten your legs, relax the heels. Walk your feet back to the front of the mat. Hands to heart center here, send the hips back and down. Feet are about hip distance apart, fairly parallel with the long edge of the mat. Again, keep that neutral curve in the low back. Spread those toes a little bit wider as you sink those hips down. Weight at first is mostly on the heels. Balls of the feet connected though, toes can lift. But now spread those toes wide, plant your toes, lift your heels, send your hips down a little bit lower. Find your balance here, find your breath. Again, even if you're keeping those heels lowered, I want you to find your breath in the challenge. Exhale, release into that forward fold, plant your fingertips. Right heel releases down, left toe slides back, and lifts up, only as high as it feels good for your pencil pose. Right leg is not locking out. We're finding an engagement around it. Now here's where the fun part comes in. Your right hand reaches behind. See if you can grab your left toe. Don't worry if you can't. Either way, engage your abdominals. Start to straighten yourself back to a standing position. Beautiful. Release that left foot. Right hand comes beside the thigh. Give it a little shake out. Both hands reach up. Exhale, release. Lift your heels in your forward fold. So you need to bend those knees as much as you need to plant your fingertips. Now your left heel releases, right toe slides back, lifting your right foot only as high as it feels comfortable for your pencil pose. Bend your right knee so your heel comes nice and close to your hips. Your left hand can reach towards that right foot. See if you can grab a hold of the toe. Again, don't worry if you can't. Engage that left leg, engage your core. See if you can come back to a stand. Challenge your balance. Great job. And then slowly release that right foot back down. Both hands reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Plant those hands back to down dog. From down dog, child's pose. Knees relax nice and wide. Uncurl the toes, hips come back. Relax the head and neck. As you inhale, slowly roll up. Sweep those feet out in front of you. Coming into our boat pose. Pull out any fleshy bits that you have underneath of your sit bones. Hands come behind the thighs. Toes lift. Walk your heels in nice and close to your hips. Chest is nice and open. I want you to think about your heart center expanding out. Find your core here so that you don't fall back and then we don't round in that lower back. Keep your chest open. More of a challenge, let's lift. If your hip flexors are firing up though, place those feet back down. If you'd like more, hands come out to the sides, but keep that heart expanding open. If you'd like more, extend those legs. Nice, big, open boat. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Feet come back down, round the spine, knees to chest. Make sure you have enough room to roll back. Slowly roll the spine back down. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Reach the legs up towards the sky. Right leg is slowly lowering down. Left hand comes behind. Your hands come behind that left thigh. If it feels good, you can release that right leg all the way down onto the mat. Point your left toe. Now trying to use your core to bring that right leg back up. Clasp your hands behind the right thigh. Slowly lower down that left foot. Find your breath. And again, engage your core to bring your left leg back up towards the sky. Both knees coming towards the chest. Release the feet back down. Gently sway the knees from side to side. Soles of the feet come together to touch. Allow your knees to open out to the sides. Hands stay on your low belly. See if you can find your breath here. Use your hands to gently guide your thighs back together. Rolling over. Bring yourself into a seated position. Sitting tall. Hands come to your heart center. Thank you so much for sharing this quick practice with me today. Namaste.